Now we break for lunch. Please assemble back at 2 o'clock. After lunch, we have a very renowned speaker, and that's going to start dot on time at 2:15. So please finish your lunch fast and assemble back in the hall by 2 o'clock.
Good afternoon. Welcome back everyone. Hope you all enjoyed your lunch. Post-lunch session, we starting with a talk on Business Sutra, relating mythology to business. Session by renowned speaker, Dr. Devdutt Patnaik.
Dr. Devdutt Patnaik, author, mythologist, leadership coach, consultant on culture and belief. As is belief, so is behavior, and so is business, says Devdutt Patnaik in his book Business Sutra, a very Indian approach to management. A medical doctor by training, Dr. Devdutt has spent over 15 years in healthcare and pharmaceutical industries, managing various roles in Apollo Health Street and Symphonia Ventus. He then moved on to Ernst & Young as business advisor before he was asked to bring his radical views on management to the retail industry when he joined the Future Group in 2008. In 2009, he became a TED speaker and has since been engaging with Indian and international audiences through his popular newspaper columns, TV shows, videos and lectures. Author of 25 books, he is also culture consultant with Reliance Industries. Today, Dr. Devdutt Patnaik will give a talk on Business Sutra, relating mythology to business. Please put your hands together for Devdutt Patnaik.
Hi, good afternoon. What is lights? It's coming straight to the eye. Okay, so let me tell you something about myself. So I was trained in medicine a long time ago, so I share some parts of your expertise, but not much. 20 years ago, very, very long time ago. But for 15 years I was in the pharmaceutical industry. And in my free time, I used to study, not study, but spend my time with mythology. And that's when I discovered this fascinating world, which for some reason nobody had explored in depth. So that's what I'll be taking you all. I'll be taking you on a journey from mythology to management. Yeah? So it looks very strange. Two words which really don't seem to have anything to do with each other until you start understanding what is mythology and what is management. Right? They're two different words. When I use the word mythology, what are the things that come to your... what's that thing? One second. So, mythology, when we use the word mythology, we think of Ramayana, we think of Mahabalipuram, we think of all these serials. We don't associate it with management. So let's of course understand what is mythology. It is of course stories. At the fundamental level, they are stories. Stories that are told by cultures over generations. Right? But they are not just stories. These stories indicate how people think. So if you want to understand how Americans think, you have to study their stories. If you want to understand how Europeans think, you have to study their stories. If you want to understand how the Chinese people think, you have to understand their stories. In fact, this can be applied even to human beings. If anybody who understands psychotherapy will understand that essentially, if I want to understand a human being, I have to understand the way they see themselves in a story. So storytelling is a very fundamental part of the human condition. What is special about mythological stories is that they've survived over thousands of years. And because they've survived for a very long time, they impact the way we think even today. Management, on the other side, is about business. And business, at a fundamental level, is about people. A customer is a human being. Your boss is a human being, your partner is a human being, your team members, in your case patients who come, all of them are human beings. And when we're dealing with people, our businesses depend on how we treat people. How we treat our customers, how we treat our employees, how we treat our shareholders, how we treat our partners, our vendors. And this is the people side of business, which often gets neglected. Mythology is a simple tool that enables us to understand people and to connect with people. So I usually tell people that mythology is the map of the human mind. Different mythologies reveal different maps. And these maps become useful in negotiating our relationships at the workplace and at home. So that's what I do. I use stories from mythology, take ideas from them, and say, okay, these ideas can be applied in the workplace, at home, at workplace, in negotiations, in conflict management, in inspiring people, motivating people, managing people, all that comes under science. Right? Now, what happened? How did this link start? It started because of this. I was never in management, but because I became part of business processes in many of the companies I used to work for, I had to read a lot. And when I was reading, I noticed that most textbooks that I would pick up on management were written by men from Europe and America. Management, for those who don't know, is about 100 years old. It started in the 1920s. And it was only 100 years old, the formal study of management. And most textbooks, in fact 80% of the textbooks are written by men from Europe and America. So these are some of the great writers. There is Philip Kotler, there is Peter Drucker, there is Stephen Covey. The question is, which you have to ask, and something which I ask myself, if all these men belong to Japan, would management as we know it be different? If all these men belong to Africa, would management as we know it be different? In other words, does the culture that these people belong to shape the way they look at business? That's a question that I started asking myself. Because in my free time, my hobby was reading management mythology, and because my work demanded I understand management, I would read management books, and I started noticing something very peculiar. And it could only be if you are familiar with these two subjects, these two domains, only then will you understand the relationship between them. So I was in a very unique position. And I observed an uncanny resemblance between modern management and stories from the Bible. It is something that took me by surprise, and it's so obvious. But it was obvious only because I was spending my time both worlds, in the world of mythology and the world of management. Now, for those who are not familiar with when I use the word modern management, what does it mean? So here is a brief glimpse at it. This is a very basic understanding of what is called modern management. Modern management is something where when you decide to do an activity with the target in mind. It's not objective based. You first begin with an objective. This is what I want to achieve. So you begin with a target. Then you say, okay, in order to achieve this target, what should I plan? What should I do? What are the resources I need? So you have a set of tasks. And then you decide you need talent. You need people to do those tasks. So you look for people with that particular talent and you achieve it. But it begins with keeping the target in mind. This is a very basic understanding of modern management. So it's objective driven. Yeah. And this is, I call it TET, target, task and talent. So it's quite commonly known, quite simply understood. Everything else is detail. So when I'm reading the Bible, and especially the book of Exodus, and some of you must have seen the new film which is released, Exodus. It is a new version of an old film called Ten Commandments. And the story is very simple, and it's a very powerful story, and you realize how important it is in understanding of leadership, in understanding of project management. It's a very good storytelling. So let's listen to the story. The story is very simple. It talks about a group of people who live in abject poverty, in slavery. They've been stripped of all their freedom, all their dignity, everything has been taken away from them. They are working for someone else under inhuman conditions. Until one day the prophet comes along. And the prophet gives them the vision of a promised land far away, of a land of milk and honey, of a land where all their desires will be fulfilled. Everything that they want will be, they'll have freedom, they'll have independence, they'll have dignity, they'll have respect. And it is located far away. It is located beyond the sea, beyond the wilderness, far away. So people, all the people who are enslaved want to go there. And so they set out and they follow the prophet. But first they have to sign a covenant, a pact with God. They have to make a covenant with God, a pact. And more importantly, they have to follow commandments. The commandments which are given by God and carved in stone. As the journey proceeds, only one thing troubles the prophet. Only one thing. And it's a problem that you encounter in management in every organization around the world. It is a problem of non-compliance. People don't follow the rules. People don't align to the system, even when the rules are given by God and carved in stone. That's the problem he faces. However, God is a caring Father, He forgives, and the process starts all over again. The rules are again given, again there's an effort to take it to the promised land, and again people struggle to align to the rules. So observe the uncanny similarity to this story and management. So this is your background statement. This is as is situation. This is your vision statement, your mission statement, your objective, your target, your goal. This is your memorandum of understanding. This is your contract, without which nothing in management moves. Unless you sign a contract, nothing happens. This is your systems, your rules, your processes that you have to follow. This is your auditor, your internal auditors, your external auditors, your quality checks, your regulators, who ensure that everybody is following the rules. And this, of course, is the board of directors, the shareholder, the management, the boss, who keeps creating rules and which you keep following. So it's a linear approach. There is a vision, there is a goal, there's a target, there are tasks, and there are people. That's the method. So the question is, we are now in a world where people from all over the world are talking to different parts of the world. Are there other ways of looking at business? Is there a Chinese way of looking at business? Is there an Indian way of looking at business? Is there an African way of business? And people are asking these questions everywhere. So the question in front of me was, do we get some ideas, some management ideas from stories from the Puranas or from the Indian stories which grew in the subcontinent? So what I will present to you now is a different story, very different. You can observe how different it is from the biblical narrative, very different story. And the reason I'm selecting this story is because the character in the story is common across Jain, Buddhist and Hindu mythology. So you find this one character and the idea and the presentation of the story is very, very different. Right? So let's listen to the story and see whether it connects to our day-to-day life. Does it connect to our day-to-day work? So the story begins with a place called Swarga. Now what is Swarga? Swarga is described as paradise. And what does it mean? Now, when you pick up a Jain Puran or a Buddhist Jatakas or any of this, they will describe Swarga in exactly the same way. It is a place where there is a cow called Kamadhenu, a wish-fulfilling cow. There is a tree called Kalpataru, a wish-fulfilling tree. There is a jewel called Chintamani, a wish-fulfilling jewel. Ask for anything and you will get it. And that is Swarga. So what is Swarga? Is a place where you get a return without any investment. It's a place where you don't have to work and you still get your salary. It's basically a place where you get whatever you desire without any effort. And that is how we visualize. So 2000 years ago, the people who wrote this story said that heaven is a place where you get things without doing anything. It must be the best place in the world because I can get whatever I want without working. And the king of this place is called Indra. He is the king of heaven. And he has everything that he desires. But the mythological books always describe him as an extremely insecure god. He has everything, but he is insecure. Why is he insecure? He is insecure. Imagine a Raja performs a yajna. A king performs a sacrifice, he gets nervous and he steals the king's horse. A rishi will perform tapasya and again he gets nervous and he'll go to the apsaras and say, please go and dance in front.